G'day, Skarvig here, and we're having a look at a demo for a game called Survival Fountain of Youth. It is a single-player open-world survival game set in the Caribbean, somewhere around the 16th century, where you've been shipwrecked and you need to survive. Now, this is a demo, so you can download it for yourself and give it a go, but we might as well jump in and have a look at some of the features and see what there is to see. I will skip all the intros and little cutscenes, as you can look for them yourself if you want to give it a go. I don't want to spoil things like that. Alright, well here is the start. We skipped the little intro, you can watch that if you want to. We're basically about to be knocked out. The ship is going to become a shipwreck, and we will need to escape. Pretty stock standard start in some ways. There's always some kind of a crash that leaves you marooned upon the islands. For now, we need to pick up our map, take that, and choose our starter items. And so with these items, it's a little bit weird, but these are essentially top tier items that you can get, which you won't normally be able to craft right at the very beginning. So a backpack, you get 11 slots in your inventory instead of 4. The navy coat is quite good because it gives you all the protection from the sun and things like that. Flint, so it's very easy for you to actually start fires, whereas initially it's not so easy. But then some of these other items, like the weapons, the knife's good for crafting, axe is good for cutting things down, also starts with quite a lot of damage, so it's very good for fighting. Obviously a fishing rod, you can get yourself some food, but you can get a pistol, medicine, so you end up having to choose what it is that you'd like. Now I want the space because plus 11 inventory slots seems to be bigger than what you can get very early on, and so that's a very nice one to have. The navy coat almost seems like the next best thing because it protects you from everything, but I want to show off the negative effects of things, so we'll leave the navy coat behind. We'll take the axe because it's actually really high damage and it's also a tool, and so we'll start with that this time round. Alright, we have arrived. Now, the interface is probably the first thing we'll look at, but we'll wait till we're standing up. And one of the, obviously, you got your stock standard stuff down the bottom left there, which shows your health, it shows your water, energy. If you run, you get your short burst energy, so the stuff that actually wears out while you're running, whereas the bar energy that you see in the icon down the bottom left is actually more to do with, do you need sleep or not? The top left is where you see status effects. At the moment there's a sun icon, so slowly I'm cooking in the sunlight. If I hold down C, I can actually see the different statuses that I have on me at the moment. I'm in the burning sun, and eventually I will get sunburn. Near death is because of what's happened. I've got the red bar down here showing that I've near death, and I need to take living water to improve it. And I can walk into the shade, and that will actually get rid of the status effect of the sun at the very least. And then in the top right we can see our current quest, so I can open that up, and it's basically telling me that I need to find survivors, look at the grotto map location. When I do that, so I need to look for a mountain which has this interesting looking stone on top, and that should lead me to a cave which has a bone out the front. And when I look up there, it's a very obvious stone, so it's a very good chance that's where I want to go. Crabs around at the moment. Yeah, so that's probably the basics of the interface. Inside the inventory, at the moment I've only got 2 weapon slots. You can expand this by making items, so if I get a belt, for example, I'll be able to get another weapon slot. If you didn't have the backpack, so I can take the backpack off, we can see here that it's only got 5 slots available, but we wear the bag and we've got all of them. The backpack has a durability, saying that it will break in 33 days. And so we've obviously got to learn enough stuff, find a good base location, so on and so forth. We probably need to start looking at making some gear too. I would love to try and take out one of these crabs. They're very fast. Let's see if I can stealthy one. Just initially, no, didn't think so. Right, stand up. The other parts to this, we have a crafting menu. Now this just scrolls down. If you choose one of the highlighted points on the left here, it just scrolls down to the relevant spot. So fire starters here. And these, as you pick things up, you will learn different blueprints, and you can craft them from there. So for example, I can go and pick up this stick out here. We'll just go and grab one. And it says 4 new blueprints have been unlocked. And so if I go into my crafting menu, there's actually a nice thing from the inventory here. When you select an item, down the bottom left here, it says blueprints. So we can filter specifically on what the sticks can make. So we can make a map tool for drawing, fire starters, a melee club. Only does 9 damage, so that axe, which is doing 50, is one that I want. Box made of branches, I'm going to want that eventually. And I can make a campfire and things like that. So everything you pick up, you'll eventually be able to craft. And the crafting in this seems to be very similar to the long dark. And so if I interact with the tree, if I wanted to chop it down, I could harvest all the components, saying I want 4 of 4 green branches, 1 of the yellow leaves. It's going to take me 25 minutes and it will give me a certain amount of weight, and no tool is needed. I'm assuming you just climb up the tree and pick them off. Sometimes you'll need a knife, sometimes you'll need an axe. Different types of tools will allow you to do different actions. Some of these have coconuts, but none of the ones around here. So I'm not particularly worried about that, unless I can throw. Oh, I can't throw my axe. Bam! Oh, I missed. Got it. Alright. We grab ourselves an axe. Now, the other part to this, as we move along, we have our character screen. From here we have our survival abilities, so concentration, resisting diseases, thirst, hunger, and better sleep. Each of these has a different effect depending on whether you've actually put points into it. How do you get points? Over time, so I will get 1 survival point in 2 days. So over time you'll gain survival points, which will allow you to spend into your survival abilities and increase your ability to resist diseases, poisons, get more thirst and hunger back from things that you do. The secondary part to this is the skills. There's a bunch of stuff that's disabled in the demo here by the looks of it, but at least with the skills, these are all done by doing. So I haven't actually gathered anything yet. So let's go and do some things, and we'll see it in action. Just going to grab a few things here. Conch shells actually have a little bit of food. Conch shell, leaf. Let's grab the coconut. Alright, this is looking good. Like a stick. Fresh coconuts as well as ripe coconuts. And there's the coconuts in the tree. So when I look at this, I could harvest all of those, but it's telling me that I actually need a cutting implement. So I need to make myself a knife. So what we will do is have a look at what we can with the tools to make ourselves a stone cutter. So a knife, we need 1 rock, 30 minutes. So let's craft that, and watch down the bottom left here where the little red stuff is. We craft, and we see some numbers come up there. I just got 5 points into something. So when we go into our character and we go to our crafting, we can see here I got 5 experience from my crafting. So you gain experience doing these things by actually doing stuff. But obviously everything takes time, and time takes away from your days, which also then takes away from durabilities and things like that. We do have a resource map. I haven't actually mapped anything, and that's where the charcoal comes into play. So I need to get some charcoal so I can start mapping and go from there. We're going to want to move towards our destination, as there's already a fireplace set up over there. We've just got to get there first. See if we can get another crab. Nice. Now, there's a lovely item up here. We're going to get some of them because it will show off the medicine side of things. So these ferns, so we're going to harvest all of them. So yes, these wild leaves are very important when utilised with things like tobacco and chamomile. You can make salves. Right, short-eared doggy, let's go play. Gotcha. Alright, status effect is in play now. I just got a sunburn. 2% chance of it getting worse, 2% chance of getting better. But to improve it, we want medicine like a tobacco compress or other things. Alright. Let's take all of these. Take all 20 minutes. Okay, we got a bunch of chamomile. We're not overweight, so we'll keep going. Get ourselves to this cave. Alright, here's the cave. I can see some coconuts, so we're going to go and grab them, because I want the food. It's weighing me down though. seem to recall, yes, there's this weird little picture here. And it's basically just a description of sneaking up on animals rather than doing other things. Hide behind trees and stones, and the animals don't notice them. So we're going to need to do stuff like that too. Scorpions. Little blighters. You can use these for making poison, I believe it is. But for now, we don't need to worry about that. Island map. And so this is depicting that there's water in 2 locations, and this appears to be water where there's wolves. Otherwise, there's a pathway heading to this little island off the side. 2 water sources, Coastal Grotto Island, where he lost his spyglass. So we've got to go there to get his spyglass. In a place where there are fireflies at night time. His note. And the living water. So the living water can restore our status effect. But if we look at our living water, it does actually recover 30 death points. And at the moment we've only got 10. So we might actually hold off on that for the moment. The journal is telling us to cook food in a campfire, craft a steamed leaf bandage, and craft a wooden spear. Don't have the right stuff for a spear yet, so we will go make a fire starter. We get some gum, because that will also help with this process. Craft. Fire starters. Craft. Obviously, if you'd gotten the flint, that would make this a lot easier. Alright, 3 hours. Yeah, let's do that. Grab all this. Grab that too. Okay, we've got 3 hours on here. I want mapping charcoal, so we're going to craft one of them. Fire has 2 hours left, so we're pretty good. We want to make a steamed leaf bandage. You can also make chamomile, which is good for stomach aches. If we find tobacco plants, the tobacco plant's really good for burns treatments. For now, we just need a steam leaf bandage because the quest requires it. 2 hours left on the fire. Let us... Don't know what's going to be better here. We'll roast a crab. 20 minutes. Yeah, crab's quick. We'll make 2 crabs. Fine. Okay, there's we got 1 hour left, so we can make another crab. 47 minutes left. We can make the roast dog. Can't make a wooden spear, right? Because we need a long stick, which is gathered from the Dremmer tree. To get that, we're going to have to wander up there. But for now, we're probably going to need to get some rest. Alright, we are well rested. Okay, we'll brave the cave. Okay, nice little fertile valley. Oh, that's right, I'm going to head to that tree over there. But first of all, we want to see if I can find one of these specific trees that'll give us a spear. I want you to kill one of these dogs again. Yes. Hello, doggy. Done. And it's a Genmera tree. Let's harvest. It's going... We need our axe. It's going to take 23 minutes. We can do that. Cool. We got some long sticks. If we can do that again, we might as well. Wooden spear. 40 minutes. Ooh. Well, it's done anyway. Won't do that much damage, but we've gotten one. Alright. Apparently we just found a cartographer tree. It's a very specific thing. I'm going to place a ladder. We're then going to climb up the tree. I did make it, didn't I? Oh yeah, got my charcoal. Alright, up the tree we go. Dun, dun, dun. Alright, from this vantage point, we can now start mapping. So down the bottom here, you get the option to start mapping. Let's do that. It's going to take 3 hours, but so be it. What you end up having is, on the map, we have a resource map. So I actually wanted some liana, so that I could get myself some ropes, because that's going to at least expand my set. We've got some sage, some chamomile, coconuts, crabs, tobacco. There's actually some tobacco very close to us, but there's also some tobacco on the way to that liana. Or I could come up here. There's some hibiscus, short-eared dog, although there's some boars and a peccary. So yeah, you get a bit of an idea of what it is that you're needing to do. Some long sticks there, date palm. Yeah, fair enough. Right, how do I go down? I'm guessing this is the rope. You can hear the piggy. $40 minutes, might as well get it done. Right, we got lots of rope now. What? I heard you. There's a snake. Got to be careful of that. I could kill that and get its rattle, but not a lot of point because I'm overweight. Well, I might as well call it there for the demo. Obviously, if you'd like to play, you can jump into the demo yourself and have a look at what's going on. After this, I did end up going and finding a new spot to set up a little bit of a base. You can't build too many base items at this stage in the game, or the demo, but I was able to put down things like a workbench, a carpentry station, some shelters, and a new bed, and things like that. But no actual structures at this stage. I ran into some fun creatures like the harpies, which are like an eagle. I ran into the jackal, amongst other things. And there were some sites, so there is actually going to be some lore in the game where you can actually find artifacts throughout the island that you can actually interact with, and they give you a little bit of information about the lore of the island. And you can actually build simple ships, like rafts and things like that. So obviously when I actually do eventually go to the island, which I haven't done yet as of this recording, I will probably need to build the raft so that I can actually sail over to the little island. You can swim in the water and find resources in there, another thing I hadn't actually done by the end of the demo, but I will probably end up doing more of Survival Fountain of Youth. I may even just do a video where I'm playing through the demo as opposed to just showing off some of the features and what the game is all about. Anyway, thanks for listening in. Let me know what you think down in the comments, or maybe you know that there's some games coming up with demos as well that I could cover that people might be interested to know about. Thanks for listening in, subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.